The Eagles got some key players back at practice today who are going to make a major difference on defense, and despite the pouring rain, some of the winners from Friday's preseason game continued their meteoric rise to the roster. Plus, one Eagle I'm starting to really regret giving up on, and another who got the best of Jalen Carter in one-on-ones. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. There's no rest for a team in the middle of training camp that's just 20 days away from a season opener, and while the Birds were just, 2 days removed from a very physical preseason win in New England on Friday, the guys were back in pads in the rain yet again today for a very interesting practice at the NovaCare complex. And while the morning was spent working on tackling drills, or I guess better yet, having fun on a makeshift slip and slide, Philly also made a few roster tweaks by signing tackle Gottlieb Idens, placing Tyler Hall on IR, and waiving Mekhi Gardner. Pair that with a long list of banged-up backups today in terms of the overall practice report that included no Joseph Ngata, Caden Stearns, John Ross, Tyler Steen, or Johnny Wilson, and the middle of training camp bumps and bruises were definitely rearing their ugly heads. The good news is, though, there were a couple of key Eagles we have not seen in a long time who were back and seemingly are getting really healthy very quick. I mean, for the first time in terms of team drills in, weeks, we saw both Cooper DeJean and how about Gardner-Johnson in pads actually participating, still limited, but still a big deal. This signals a major shift back towards what the original Eagle secondary was supposed to look like entering camp, and also has the added security and depth that the group has been looking for to dominate in 2024. Like, we've talked about safety depth a lot the past couple of weeks, and it always is, they gotta go sign somebody because of injuries, they need depth, but in reality, a healthy Gardner-Johnson and a healthy Reed Blankenship, and throw in Cooper DeJean in the mix, it makes the unit about as strong as it's ever been, and the depth behind the starting two, it's looking pretty good. DeJean being back is a big deal, and getting him back up to game speed, playing in a preseason game maybe next Saturday is all very good things. They'll take it slow, though, according to Nick Sirianni, although after practice today, DeJean, again, did a pretty good job.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where he is as far as, you don't ever want to overload a guy right at the beginning. I'm looking forward to watching him practice today, ramping it up a little bit even more today. And then you got to take each guy as its own case, right? And so you look at the situation that the team has, and then you also look at what the guy can do. And so time will tell, and look forward to seeing him go out there and roll today.
Now, in terms of where to play the rookie DB, he started out in team drills as second-team nickel, of course behind Quinyon Mitchell, but eventually did get some work as the starting nickel because Philly also gave Quinyon Mitchell some work at the starting outside cornerback spot for just a few reps. Gotta remember, though, DeJean arguably looked better than Mitchell, at least during early OTA and minicamp practices. Not saying he's going to turn out to be better than Mitchell, because Mitchell has had an incredible training camp and a really good preseason, more on that in a second. But don't think that DeJean missing all this time means he's not going to gain actual playing time during the 2024 season. I really think he's going to be a factor, maybe not as a full-time starter, but mixed in Vic Fangio's defense in some way, somehow. Oh, and again, today for Quinyon, nice PBU on Devontae Smith. It seems to be a common theme. Wash, rinse, repeat. Quinyon Mitchell having solid reps battling against our top receivers. And overall, through 2 preseason games, how about 29 coverage snaps, 8 yards allowed, 1 PBU? Give me a thumbs up for that. Also, if you missed yesterday's show, I'm giving away this Kelly Green White Eagles sideline hat to one subscriber who commented backup. I'll be linked down below to go to that video. And of course, get your entry in now. Winner announced on Monday's show. But in case you're wondering, we're about, 2,500 subscribers away from 60K, which gives away the signed, right there, Brian Westbrook jersey. That's going to be to one of you guys. And I'm also giving away 2 tickets to the Eagles Monday Night Opener versus the Falcons, the Nick Foles retirement game. We're almost to 60K. Hit that sub button. Now, of course, the big storyline from the Patriots game was the backup quarterback play, and of course, the brewing question of whether or not to demote Kenny Pickett from quarterback 2 to quarterback 3. And today's practice, it didn't really help Pickett's case, with Brandon Lee Gowton noting that Pickett may have just thrown the worst pass of training camp. Totally sailed a throw to a wide-open Will Shipley along the left sideline. No pressure, staring the running back down, just missed. Followed shortly by, and even worse, Tanner McKee getting rid of the ball a lot faster than Kenny Pickett, who got sacked on a blitz where he held it too long. Now again, I told you on Friday, Pickett should be quarterback 2, but the Eagles themselves were not going to give up on their 3rd-round draft pick, basically what they gave up for Kenny Pickett, that quickly, and Nick Sirianni, he echoed that today during his presser.
I'm really pleased with our quarterback room. Obviously, Jalen's had an unbelievable camp, and he's done an unbelievable job. But I really do feel like we have 2 guys. I love the whole room. Will got in and made some plays, but I really feel like with Tanner and Kenny, that we have guys that a lot of teams would like to have and be in this situation where you have two guys that you feel really good about, there in case they need to play. Hopefully they never need to play, right? That's the plan. But we know, and Will, like I said, Will went in for a series and he went down and showed what he could do. So really just excited about the entire room. And really pumped that we have that group.
Other really interesting moments today from practice included Mekhi Becton holding his own on not one, not two, but 3 straight one-on-one drills versus Jalen Carter. That's pretty impressive for the starting right guard, who, again, give a lot of credit to somebody changing positions from tackle to guard and really winning the job. He's basically secured that from Tyler Steen, seems to be building confidence with each practice. And his teammates seem to be really pumped for him and are really impressed by the massive tackle switch to right guard.
Man, I'm so glad we got Mekhi, man. He's such a great player. It's come a long way from his days from playing left tackle to now playing right guard. I think he's done a great job of just saying, of taking a hold of that opportunity that is presented before him and running with it. I mean, it's a perfect scenario. It's a perfect situation. I think he's just a hungry dog. We have that saying in the O-line room, and it's really just like, hungry dogs run faster, and Mekhi's just running with it. He's hungry. He wants, he sees the connections that we have up front, and he's done a great job of, just fitting in with us. Like, we love Mekhi.
Now, I want to take this moment to apologize to an Eagle player who I basically gave up on a couple of weeks ago, and a lot of you guys have too, and that is Nakobe Dean. Dean struggled in OTAs, he struggled in minicamp, and really struggled early on in training camp, which made me kind of inch closer and closer to using the actual B word, or bust. But recently, something has definitely changed. There's no denying it after 2 straight fantastic preseason games, including being the highest graded PFF Eagle in both of those instances with a 91.6. He's been decisive, he's made a lot of tackles, he's been flying around, and as Devin White mentioned, has been the hammer looking for nails all throughout training camp today. Now, as head coach, he also has noticed that Dean seems different and has been impressed.
I think he's had a nice camp. I'm excited about that linebacker group. We got some guys that haven't played at all, and we have some guys that are veterans, and I'm excited about that group. And Nakobe played really well in the game. I know, Bo, you asked me about who played well. I thought Nakobe played a really, really good game.
For instance, today, Dean set the practice tone early with a very big hit on Will Shipley, which almost started a brawl. Again, hammer looking for nails. Now, I'm not saying Nakobe Dean is going to win the starting linebacker job or that he's just, the best linebacker on this roster, but he's not looking like a bust anymore. The past couple of weeks have been very, very good. And myself, as someone who talks about the Eagles every single day, I have to be honest with you. When I'm wrong about something, I got to come tell you. I mean, Nick Sirianni last year, I was defending him, and then finally I was like, guys, I can't defend him anymore. He's been really bad. I think the same goes for Nakobe Dean. Now, again, doesn't mean Dean is some sort of, perfect linebacker. He's going to win the starting job, but he's at least looking good right now, and I got to give credit where credit is due. And I think Dean has noticed all the social media criticism. I mean, how can you not? And he's really starting to internalize that and turn it into some good play on the field. He told the media today that he's hungry and really excited for this season.
Of course, I want to play, and I want to be the first ones out there that play, but of course, I know I can't control it. The only thing I can control is what I come out here and do every day, and work hard and continue to get better. And I feel like I done had the type of camp that I was supposed to have.
You got a few weeks in camp now, Nakobe. What's it like playing for Vic?
Oh, I like the scheme. I love the scheme. I love the defense. Everything he do, how he like to mix it up. And I like the action that he gives, the action and the versatility that he bring to the linebacker position as far as taking on 350 and running with 4-3.
Now, as for your daily Jalen Hurts stat tracking, 18 of 29, not as sharp today, but still 1 touchdown to A.J. Brown, and of course you already know, he didn't throw a single interception, still perfect so far during training camp. He was blitzed a ton today, reportedly almost every single snap early on, something that apparently Vic Fangio wanted to work on from a defense perspective, but I also think Kellen Moore watched Kenny Pickett struggle against the blitz on Friday and said, okay, let's make sure that Jalen's real big struggle in 2023 isn't a struggle in 2024, and so ramping up the blitzes today, bringing the heat against Jalen Hurts, it's a good thing, and Hurts, not perfect, but again, still had a strong day.
Obviously, going up against Vic Fangio for the last, what feels like eternity, has been frustrating because Vic is the most exotic, defenses in the world, and to finally see a new look was fun. To figure out those answers and see a fresh new faces, fresh new scheme. So for us, it was just kind of testing how much of the new playbook and how much of our protections and game planning around the blitzes, the hotzes, the saw blitz, everything you want. That's what we tested, and I think we did okay.
Practice makes perfect, and if you thought Philadelphia was going to play a preseason game and then get a little bit of a break, that's not the case. Practice today, they practice tomorrow, they practice Monday. It's going to be nonstop before their first break on Tuesday. Be sure to subscribe. We'll cover it all here. Everything you need to know about the Philadelphia Eagles, and of course, a whole bunch more. I'm Thomas Mott. This has been The Thomas Mott Show.